Sammy Davis Jr. was the greatest entertainer in the world. He could act in movies, he could sing, he could dance. He was one of the greatest tap dancers around. He really was an amazing talent.
Sammy Davis Jr. was born on December 8, 1925 in New York City to a black vaudeville star and a Puerto Rican dancer. Sammy first graced the stage at 3 years of age and soon regularly performed with his father in the Will Maston Trio.
During World War II, Sammy Davis served in the entertainment unit. And while doing this, he discovered that whereas prejudice was always prevalent, when he sang and danced and entertained people, it became much, much less.
After World War II, Sammy Davis Jr. returned to New York to resume his showbiz career. In 1950, he went solo and produced 2 albums, which were both successful enough to make him a headliner in Las Vegas and New York.
Sammy Davis Jr. was a huge star on Broadway. He was in Mr. Wonderful, and then he was in Golden Boy, both of which were huge hits.
He exuded joy. People felt good when they watched him, and he was able to present his talent in a way that people could receive it. Whether it was singing, acting, dancing, it was because of that joy that made people embrace him.
In November 1954, Sammy Davis Jr. almost died in a car accident that shattered his face and ruined his left eye.
While he was recovering, he discussed philosophy with a rabbi in the hospital. Shortly thereafter, he converted to Judaism. He found a lot of similarities between the African-American experience in the States and the Jewish philosophy.
Despite interracial marriages being illegal in 31 states, Sammy Davis Jr. married Swedish actress May Britt in 1960. They had 1 daughter together and adopted 2 sons in their 8-year marriage.
Sammy Davis Jr. was a champion of civil rights at a time when it was very, very difficult to be an African-American show business personality.
He marched in all of the big marches in Washington. He was there with Martin Luther King. He fought continuously for his own rights.
He refused to play in venues that practiced segregation, and this had a huge impact. He was so popular, he was in demand. These places wanted him to perform, so he actually changed the way that some people were doing business.
After Davis's film performances in Porgy and Bess in 1959 and his series of Rat Pack movies in the early 1960s, Sammy Davis Jr. became a superstar.
Sammy Davis Jr. catapulted into a different level of stardom when he appeared in the Rat Pack movies. My 2 favorites were Ocean's 11 from 1960 and Anacostia from 1958.
Davis married a second time in 1970 to the dancer Altivise Gore. Despite topping the pop charts with The Candyman in 1972, Davis's popularity waned in the 1970s, and he mainly performed on the casino circuit.
He was in the Cannonball Run movies, which were just kind of a lark, but he co-starred with Gregory Hines in a film called Tap, and this really pulled out what he was most remembered for early in his career, the ability to tap dance. He and Gregory Hines have these great sequences together where they just let their feet do the talking. And this was filmed only a year before he died from cancer.
A lifelong smoker, Sammy Davis Jr. died at age 64 from cancer on May 16, 1990 in Beverly Hills, California.
Sammy Davis Jr. was one of the most talented entertainers to ever touch the planet, and that's because he could sing, he could dance, he can act, and he was a comedian. It's rare to find someone with all those talents.